The college football playoff rankings were announced on Sunday following the conference championship weekend. Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama were listed as the committee's top 4 teams respectively. Alabama head coach Nick Saban will look to extend upon his record 7 national championships after sneaking into the playoffs as the 4th team in. The Crimson Tide locked up their spot in the playoffs after defeating Georgia in the SEC championship 27-24. Alabama will face off against Michigan in the Rose Bowl, with Texas playing Washington in the Sugar Bowl. Both semifinal games are set for New Year's Day. The winners of each game will face off in the national championship on January 8th. With college football's top 4 teams set, Florida State barely missed out on the playoffs, with the selection committee placing them at 5th in their end-of-season rankings. The undefeated ACC champions received an outpouring of support on social media from sports media personalities, college football fans, and politicians alike after a perceived snub. The committee ultimately left Florida State out because of a season-ending injury to star quarterback Jordan Travis in the second-to-last game of the regular season. Army takes on Navy this Saturday in one of college football's oldest rivalries. Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, plays host to the 124th meeting between the two schools. Army leads the all-time series 62-54. The midshipmen are led by quarterback Xavier Arline, who took over the starting job back in October and hasn't looked back. The multi-sport athlete has accounted for 578 total yards and 4 total touchdowns in his limited action this season. Arline's quickness and ability to make big plays will be key for the midshipmen as they look for their 6th win on the year against their bitter rivals. Army linebacker and Texas native Leo Lowen will need to have another big game if West Point is going to come out on top. The 2022 Army-Navy game MVP is a big reason why the Black Knights have one of the better defenses in the nation, allowing 369 yards per game. Lowen leads Army in tackles with 75 stops on the year and is tied for the team lead with 3 sacks. Lowen has also forced 4 fumbles this year. This will likely be a hard-fought game by both teams. I predict that Army's stout defense and special teams play will be too much for the midshipmen to handle. I have the Black Knights winning this game 24-21. The San Francisco 49ers travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles on Sunday in a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. Niners stars Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel torched the Eagles' defense en route to a 42-19 victory. Samuel accounted for 138 total yards and 3 total touchdowns. He averaged 29 yards per catch, which was the second highest mark in the NFL this week. Purdy threw for 314 yards and 4 scores, while completing 70% of his passes and recording a league-high passer rating. With the win, San Francisco moves to 9-3 on the season and is now within a game of the Eagles for the top seed in the NFC, while Philly drops to 10-2 following the loss. The Eagles travel to take on the Cowboys in Dallas this Sunday, while the 49ers play the Seahawks at home next week. For NT Daily Sports, I'm Adam O'Day.